Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Letitia and today I'm going to be walking you through the before and after process of my backyard transformation. It's literally like night and day, literally. My backyard was beautiful before. It was just grass and bushes, no privacy. But now I have privacy and a beautiful outdoor space to match, and I could not be more happy with the outcome of it. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed the process. If you do, please click like and subscribe. I've been so inspired by so many videos on YouTube and so many boards on Pinterest, and I just wanted to share a little bit of my oasis, a little piece of my heaven on earth with the rest of the world, and hopefully it can inspire you as well. So again, if you like, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. So I purchased a palette of pavers from Lowe's, which I love because they match the trim on my house perfectly. My intention was to do a DIY patio in my backyard, and the look that I wanted was to have the grass growing in between each individual paver. I think that look is so classy and I just love it. I was trying to map out the size that I wanted so that I could determine exactly how many more pallets I would need to purchase. I had my handyman come by and he just kind of helped me put the pavers in the grass just to kind of get an idea of how it would actually look. The problem is that with that particular look that I was going for, you actually need larger pavers, 24 by 24 or even larger. And as you can see, these pavers are pretty small. So you actually have to dig the ground out up underneath each paver and kind of set the stone in the grass. So we did that with a couple of them here, and you can see it would have been really tedious. And this is just one pallet. So I opted to go with professionals, which you'll see later in the video. Good thing though is that the fence posts are in, so I get to have privacy now. I'm very excited about that. I need privacy. So I'm just waiting for my fence guy to get here and get started. And here we are with the almost finished product. I have the fence panels are turned the wrong way. So what has to happen is, because it's not being a good neighbor if you have that side facing your neighbor, and my guy for some reason got confused with what I wanted. I don't know how he did, but he turned this one on the right side, but this one, these panels he did not. So he has to flip them over, which he's going to do tomorrow. He's going to reverse them, and then this inside part will be facing my yard, which is the proper thing to do. And then all of it is going to get, he's going to put the lattice on top, and then all of it is going to get stained. And so the lattice is going to look much like this lattice here, and it's going to all get stained close to this color here, and then that will be my fence. And then the next part will be to do this side here. So it's going to go from there, the fencing will go from there, so I have more panels. The fencing will go from there behind my azalea bush here, all the way over, right up to the tree. And yeah, so see the finished product. Here we are, day 2, and the fence panels have been flipped inward so that the unfinished side is now facing my yard. I don't particularly care for that look either, so I decided to have them install individual pickets to give the fence a more clean and finished look. It did add to the overall labor and material costs, but it's going to be worth it in the end because it's the aesthetic that I prefer. I am completely blown away by the privacy. Before, when I would come outside, I just felt so exposed. If I brought my dog out, if I just walked outside to plant flowers, I was just exposed on either side of me. I had no privacy whatsoever. And this particular neighbor here, his kitchen is actually facing my yard. So I can't tell you how many times I would come outside and he would be standing in his kitchen window and I would be forced to wave because he's looking at me. And you know, he's an awesome neighbor, but it just sometimes you just want privacy, and I'm excited to have it now. My awesome guy right here who does everything. Bosto, he's the bomb.
He's done all that work back there. He's amazing.
And the patio project is finally underway. This has been a long time coming, as well as the fence. But this right here has me so excited because that's another thing. Like, what's the point in having an outdoor patio space if it's open to everybody? And so I was so excited to get the fencing done and now be able to get the patio done. It's just going to provide me with a totally different experience in my backyard and just my overall home. And so I've been in my home for almost 4 years now, and with the pandemic and everything, obviously this just kind of like pushed this up on my to-do list. And so I'm very, very excited to get it done. They pulled up the pavers and they're going to use it as a border for the patio. So I'm so thrilled. The concrete has arrived, and I am just beside myself with excitement. Oh my goodness, I cannot even begin to tell you. The crew had to run to Lowe's to grab more forms because apparently they did not have enough to make the fire pit area the size that it was supposed to be. I am very particular when it comes to symmetry and shape and curves, and so they did this part here flawlessly. And it was really awesome because I didn't lose any of my plantings. Some of the other areas were a little questionable where they did the forms, and you can even see it in the finished product, but overall, it was good. So the concrete is almost poured, and we ran into a bit of an issue with backing the truck up onto the driveway. This was not something that was told to me beforehand, but apparently, concrete trucks are so heavy that if your driveway has cracks and if it's busted up a little bit from tree roots or whatever, it's a liability because they will damage the concrete even more by driving on top of it. And so the guys ended up having to wheelbarrow back the concrete, which really sucked, but they got it done. And it did cause a little bit more of a mess just because they had to wheelbarrow it to the back. So, they ended up having to pressure wash some of it off of the driveway or whatever. But they ended up working into the night because of that. And they did a decent job overall. There were things that I wasn't extremely happy with, but they did a decent job overall. So yeah, I can't complain too much. The price was good, and so you know I'm happy in the end. But yeah, so just know that if you're gonna have a concrete patio poured and you have a driveway or wherever the concrete has to go that's busted up, you're gonna have issues. So this is actually maybe 2 or 3 days later because it was raining profusely. It actually started raining when they were finishing up that night, and they were actually kind of working in the rain. But you can see the fence is done. You can see the patio. It's still drying, so that's the reason why it looks like it does. And my yard is destroyed. My grass is destroyed. But thankfully, I have an amazing lawn guy. I am in love with the symmetry, but not all of it. And so at first I was a little bit nervous because I saw the patchiness and I was just like, oh my God, is it going to dry like this? And this is my first time having a project like this done. And so, going through it, you don't know what to expect. They tell you, but you don't really know. So this is before the pavers get added to the edge. And just as a little sidebar, I purchased a double weeping willow tree. And because I've always wanted to plant one so that when I look out my kitchen window, I can see this beautiful weeping tree. And so I decided to purchase one. I found a perfect tree at one of the local nurseries here in Greenville. And so I went ahead and purchased it, and it just bloomed beautifully once I got it home. Oh my God, it was just gorgeous. So that's just a little sidebar. So yeah, here we are the next couple days or so later, and I had a different guy come, and actually these are the same pavers that I had initially in my yard that I was going to do the DIY project with. And so yeah, he just pretty much came and added those for me around the fire pit area. And as you can see, like my plantings are starting to bloom. I actually planted a couple of arborvitaes too, which I love. But yeah, so he's just gonna do a border around the entire patio. It's gonna be awesome.
Really?
Here's just a little look at my azalea bush. This thing is stunning. It does this every single year for like 2 weeks. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I just had to take a snapshot of it so you guys could see it. Like, oh my goodness. So every bush that's in my backyard, like every single bush that you guys have seen during the entire project, even some of the flowers as you can see that are coming through the fence from the other side, they are all azaleas. You can see those starting to bloom over there and behind the back of the house. All of those are azaleas. And when I tell you they are beautiful when they bloom, oh, they're just beautiful. So here you can see that he has finished the border, and it just looks so much better. It doesn't just look like plain concrete, you know. It adds a classier touch to the patio as opposed to just having a concrete slab. And so it matches the house. So I love it. And now I have a pergola that's going to go up. And so you guys please join me in the next video to see the pergola and the patio design come together. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thanks for watching.
This is gonna be amazing when it's done.